So today, since it's Valentine's Day, on the day that we're well, let's be honest, this is pre-recorded. I'm taking the day off because it's my birthday. We're just going to say
birthday!
how it is. Yeah, so this is releasing Valentine's week. How's that? We'll go there with that. We thought we would talk about players we love. Now, we did have to go into some, I guess you could say, some parameters, some rules with this, because we could go in and obviously just talk about so many players with this. But what we wanted to do is we wanted to say, who would you like to have, as a fan, of course, a long-term relationship with? These players, who is going to be around for the long haul? So what we did is we put a cap at 25 years old, right? Because that makes good logical sense.
Sure
I
enough.
think. Anyways, so, and as we got going into this, it was kind of like there's a ton of young talent in Major League Baseball right now.
Probably more than we've seen in
a decade at least.
I was going to say like 10, maybe 12 years.
A while.
Yeah.
And first off, I got to say, I think it's a really good thing for the game, right? Because young stars are fantastic.
Always.
So what we decided to do, instead of just doing our top 5 players under 25 who we love, we're going to break this up into 3 different episodes for you guys. And today we're going to talk about infielders. So today is our top infielders under 25 with our players we love. Brig, take it away and lead us off.
Don't tell me what to do, Brad.
I am your coal mine supervisor.
You are right now. I'm going to go with a guy who has been in the league for, let's see, this is currently, and let me preface this. 2022 can be their age 25 year for my money. Like, I'm okay with that, right?
Okay. All right. Yeah.
That's what I did. So this guy has been in the league 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years successfully. Right? His age 25 year will be 2022.
Okay.
He's an all-star, Silver Slugger. He's been in the MVP race as of number 13 is what I have here, and that was in 2021. 2-time all-star. He has an overall WAR career. Again, this is a short-term career, but career WAR so far 14.4. Career batting average sits at 273. His OBP is 325, slugging 477. OPS is 802. He's a second baseman. He plays for the Atlanta Braves. It's Ozzy Albies.
I knew it. You know how I knew?
Yes!
He's my runner-up.
Yes!
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. Yeah, he is a solid choice. Go ahead and tell us additionally why, Brie, because I feel like you laid it out pretty good there, like why he's a player you love right now.
Well, I think that what we're going to see is more out of him, and that's what's the point of this exercise, right? Is to find out guys that we're going to see more from. But I think that he could be a long-term presence in Atlanta, and I love the idea of franchise guys who stick around, kind of like that core 4 in New York back in the 90s, or when you know the triple threat pitching team in in Atlanta back in the 90s as well. And stuff like that, right? The big red machine, like idea, like I want that to come back, those things to come back. So I think he could help anchor some of that in Atlanta, in addition to everything that I've already laid out. And what's cool is we've seen him in the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I like that we've seen him in the postseason. So those numbers include postseason runs, and that's awesome. He's been a part of 8 series in the postseason over the last 5 years.
Well, and so not only we didn't just see him in the World Series, he actually showed up.
Right.
Like he had a great series.
But I'm just saying playoff baseball at all. But he happened to also participate in a World Series and stand up and deliver. Right. So he's played in a wild card game, 4 games for the NLDS, 2 games NLCS, 1 World Series, 2 championship series, 4 division series races, and 1 World Series. That's what I meant to say.
There you go. Yeah.
And that's a lot of playoff baseball for a guy who's only been in the league 5 years.
Yeah. Well, and the fact that he is 25, just barely, and he's been in the league 5 years, to me, that says a lot.
Yeah.
Right.
He came in his
That's really
age
where it
21
comes
year.
in. Yeah.
In his age 21 year, he played a full 57 games, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And then he's never played like significantly reduced games except for the weird COVID
And so
year.
this is one of the things that I think is crazy, specifically about the Braves and talking about Albies, is that first off, Albies I feel like has been overshadowed by Acuna because Acuna is another stud, right?
Totally. Yeah.
Massive star, the big personality. Albies is just about everything Acuna brings to offer, but in the infield. Like he doesn't have the power, but he gets on base and he does what he needs to do. He gets the job done. Brig, I feel like we're all guilty of looking past the Braves the last 3 or 4 years. We saw them come in to the playoffs last year. It's like, okay, yeah, like this is a good team, but they weren't quite ready. And then this year, disaster struck, and we're kind of like, well, that's it for the Braves. But they plugged and played, and it's like it's because they had a strong core that they had already built up going in, like leading up to those injuries. That it's like, okay, yeah, this is a really good team, and Albies and Freddie Freeman have been part of that core and consistency that led to the World Series. And I think people should be paying more attention to Albies.
I think so too, especially because we're going to get a lot more out of him.
Yes,
from him.
Sure.
From him. Let's put it differently. Since we're in the middle of a CBA, we're going to see a lot more positive performance from him. It's very exciting.
I agree.
All right, Brad, who you got?
My first player is somebody who just recently turned 24. That was on the end of January, February 1st. He just turned 24.
Okay.
He has had 2 years in the league. This last year, he became a regular full-time starter for his team. He's a middle infielder. Very exciting. I've talked about him before. I love watching this guy just because, like I said, he's exciting and fun player to watch. I'm going to go Jazz Chisholm of the Miami Marlins.
He was my runner-up.
Hey, there we go.
That's the guy I would replace with Ozzie Albies. I was like, no, I want to go with somebody else.
And see, I put Chisholm was one of the first guys on my list.
He was for me too.
Because I just had to verify that he was under 25. I was like, he's got to be. He just seems really young. But this is the thing about Chisholm is that like he doesn't have like slappy in the face outstanding numbers, right? Like he hit 248 this last year. He stole 23 bases, but he led the National League with 8. He got caught stealing 8 times, and I don't care if a guy gets caught stealing bases because for me it's like he's being aggressive. He's going out there. And the fact that he led the league getting caught trying to steal bases is like the dude is just going to keep trying. He's going to keep going. And that's one thing that I love because we didn't talk about it last week, but I feel like a stolen base is one of the most exciting plays in sports because there's so much anticipation over such a short period of time. But Jazz Chisholm, in my opinion, I believe that he's going to grow into being one of the best players on that Marlins team if he's not already, because they're really young. But he's going to be their leader. He's going to be the face of their franchise. I think that he's going to be the guy who's going to eventually lead them to the playoffs. I don't know that he has what it takes to lead them to a World Series, but he's going to help them get back in the playoffs.
We don't know.
And a legitimate playoff berth.
I agree with that. The only hesitation I really have with him is we haven't seen too much from him yet, not enough for my money, and 2, being that in the franchise he's a part of, there's so much turmoil, there's so much turnover with players, there's so much going on all the time that you just don't know if they're going to value him at the level he deserves to be valued at, and I think I can see him getting traded away, and then we'll see what we need from him.
So, and I can see that because of the history of the franchise. However, what I say to that, though, is that I feel like when Derek Jeter and those guys came in, I feel like what they did was they were like, okay, we have all these guys who have reached their ceiling. And they're like Christian Yelich, JT Realmuto, Giancarlo Stanton. Those guys had reached that group had reached its ceiling in Miami. And they said, the best thing we can do, and I saw this with the Mariners too, is just tear it down and start over again. So I think that what's happening in Miami is Derek Jeter and his guys are like, okay, Chisholm is going to be our cornerstone. I think that
Anthony Rizzo.
Yes, right? I think that they really like him because they're already putting him out there to represent the team. as like their young guy who they're going to be like, let's build him up. Let's build a rapport with the fan base and everything because we want him to be our guy. Yeah. And so I don't think that they would necessarily trade him. I think if they're going to, if he does get to the point where he deserves a big fat contract, I think they're going to give him what they can because they want some consistency. Derek Jeter understands the importance of consistency, the role that it can play.
For sure.
And not just in a player's career, but also the franchise as far as like appealing to the fan base, stuff like that. So
I think he understands it as well, if not better than a lot of players and owners and managers and, agents and everything.
Yep, exactly. So I think they're going to keep him around as long as he earns his spot there.
Cool. I love it. I'm not going to disagree with you.
Excellent.
Okay, good. So I'm going to go next.
Okay,
since it's my turn. There's two of us. I'll go next. Okay, I'm going to go with a guy who's been an all-star one time.
Okay.
He has a Silver Slugger, career WAR of 10.8. We've seen a career lasting. Let's see, this will be his 6th season. 2022 will be number 6 for him, where he does again turn 25 in his 2022 season. Okay. So his batting average 279, OBP 338, slugging 509, OPS 847. Okay. This dude, first of all, this dude can rake, right? And he has had defensive issues in the past with range and some errors committed and things like that. But it's okay to have a guy at third base who's maybe got a tiny bit of an issue at defensively, not enough to make him a liability, because there's not enough to consider him a liability. We wondered, though, and I'm going to drop the reveal here in a minute, so stay with me. But we wondered about it, and his Cabbage Patch cheeks, it's Raphael Devers.
I wondered if you were going to grab Devers.
The fact is, he's so good.
He is so good.
He's so good. And what kills me is that over those 5 years, not only have we seen his WAR is in a good spot for where he is in his career, he's got postseason baseball experience and does well in the postseason, well enough. What I love about Devers is that his transformation from are we going to have a problem here to he's now a problem for everybody else is the reason he has got to be on this list for me.
That's solid. And I was looking for a fifth guy, and actually it was funny. I was like, I got to have a fifth guy, but I already had 5. But so I pulled up a list of the top 25 players under 25, and he was on there, and I was like, I almost grabbed him just because I didn't think you would. But it kills me that you absolutely grabbed your absolute least favorite player in the league simply because of his Cabbage Patch cheeks. But no, he is a problem. He's a legitimate problem for everybody the Red Sox face.
Every single
100%. Time. Yeah.
Yeah, and you got to just love him for that. You have to.
You do. That's awesome. That's so funny.
You're welcome, Mike. I don't think Mike Farnes would have let me live it down if I didn't include Raphael Devers in my list. I just don't think he would have.
That's solid. That's really good.
And I didn't make the decision for Mike. It just happens to be a nice little bonus.
Awesome. All right. The next one. Do you mind if I go ahead? Are you done with Devers?
Oh, I think you should go. It's probably your turn.
All right. Okay. The next guy I have, he's actually another third baseman.
Ooh.
Not Raphael Devers. This guy turned 25 13 days ago. So some of these guys are like right up there at the top, right?
Yeah, it's okay. It counts.
But he has 2 seasons in the big leagues. He hasn't. He was there for the entire time this last year, but he hasn't put together like a full season yet. But I think that this team is trying to make him be their next franchise guy, which is why they traded away their other franchise guy this last year to the Padres in Adam Frazier.
Yes.
Are you Ke'Bryan Hayes?
He almost made my list as well. I was just like, he doesn't have enough service time for me.
And see, that's the thing for me is like I'm willing to take a guy who's exciting his first couple of years, who's kind of like a flash in the pan. Like he only played 25 or 24 games in 2020, which is a whole lot more than what it sounds like because of the season the way it was. He played 96 games this year, but if you watch this dude, he's exciting, man. He's really exciting. He's fun to watch. He hit 257 this year. He did only hit 6 home runs, but he stole 9 bases. I think he's working himself up to being the next guy who the Pirates can trade and get a haul back for. Because let's be honest, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, it is.
Adam Frazier, Josh Bell, all of them. It happens. Garrett Cole. It happens to all of them. It happens to all of them in Pittsburgh. It's unfortunate, but that's the way they're running things these days. They're trying to flip their prospects and stars, but they're not.
It's not real estate, guys.
Exactly. You're never gonna see a return if you don't let it mature. So
yeah.
But anyway, Brian Hayes is another one of my guys I like to watch. Honestly, like anybody who wears a Pirates uniform, I'm going to pay attention to simply because of the name across the chest.
Totally. I'm the same way. I love yes. We have both Brad and I have an affinity for piratical things.
Piratical.
For those of you watching on YouTube, you can see Brad as displaying why.
Yes, exactly. For sure.
For those of you listening, jump on 9plusus.com and check out the pirate baseball line we have. It's actually a lot of fun. Okay.
Do one more and then we'll take a break.
All right. Next for me is a guy who this will be his 4th season in the big leagues. He's going to turn 23 this year. He's been not only in the All-Star lineup, but he's been an All-Star MVP. He's got a Silver Slugger award. He has a batting average career 289. His WAR is at 9.5. And again, that's in 3 complete seasons. We've got an OBP 367, slugging 517, OPS 884. The dude is just so much fun to watch. Now, it gets even better. Look, in 2019, when he was 20 years old, he played 123 games. He played 60 games and led the league in 2020 during the COVID season. And he played 161 games last year, which was his all-star year. Okay. This is Vlad Guerrero Jr.
He's also on my list.
Is he?
Yes, he is.
There we go. It happens every time. He plays third base occasionally. He's a first baseman.
Mm-hmm. So this is one of my things with Vlad is that his dad was electric, right?
Bro.
Like absolutely electric. One of the best hitters that our generation saw growing up.
For sure.
And I punctuated by his ability to hit a ball bouncing off the ground, right? He was one of the best bad ball pitchers we've ever seen.
100%. You just flick the bat and it goes.
Yeah, and this is one of the things. And also, side note, my wife's favorite player. But anyway, one of them.
True story.
So him coming up with a well-known and Hall of Fame dad, the microscope has been on him since day one. Since we first heard, did you hear Vlad Guerrero's got a kid coming up?
Yeah.
Pretty good, right? Like ever since we first started hearing that, it's like, okay, let's keep track of this guy. Keep track of him. Like, I think the last time I paid attention to somebody who wasn't a Mariner coming up through the minor league system might have been Bryce Harper,
right?
Or Gordon Beckham, because I had drafted him on my fantasy team. Like, yeah, the White Sox are going to pull him up, and they did. But nobody besides Vlad Guerrero Jr. And he's delivered. He's delivered. The way the ball explodes off his bat is unreal.
It's unreal. And that home run derby, I'll never forget that, ever. Mm-hmm. It was insane. I cannot believe he lost. I still can't believe it. But that was one of the most exciting home run derbies I've ever experienced. It was it was with Polar Bear Pete. Are you kidding me? Mm-hmm. 2 young bucks? Like it was magical. Oh, I loved it. So he finished 6th in the Rookie of the Year voting, and that just seems to be a travesty for me. But again, I mean, I don't get a vote, so
yeah, it's true. Well, and
he struck out a lot.
Yeah, well, I mean, this year he was a runner-up in the MVP, and some argue he maybe should have won it because of what he did with his team putting him on the brink of the playoffs, where Shohei Ohtani's team was nowhere near.
Yep.
But yeah, no, it's a solid pick. With that, let's take a quick break and we'll get back. And I actually only have 2 more now because we just overlapped on one. So we'll get back.
I only have 2 more as well.
2, and we'll wrap things up.
Welcome back, baseball family. We have each got 2 remaining long-term loves. I guess we're calling them. I don't know. Players that we hope to be in a long-term relationship with Major League Baseball. Okay.
As fans.
Yes. We're very excited about remaining on either scorecard because Brad thinks that we will only line up on one of them. I think we're going to line up on both, and I'm excited to have him be wrong. So let's see. Let's see how it goes, Brad. I think you should go first.
Okay. Yeah, it would be my turn anyway, since there's, again,
That's
2 of us.
Yes. If this was musical chairs.
Yes. So I'm going to start with the one that I think we're going to overlap on, like, certainly. Okay. So I'm going to start with this is a guy who, quite honestly, the day he made his major league debut, I was like, oh, snap.
Mm-hmm.
There's that. Took the league absolutely by storm. Another son of a player, right? Has been in the league for 3 years now. He finished top 3 in the Rookie of the Year. Has finished top 5 in the MVP, both 2020 and 2021. Just when you look up the definition for electric in the dictionary, his picture is next to it. And part of that is, and I think if there was a GIF, it would be when he scored from second on a pop fly to the grass just outside of the infield dirt. And so we all know who I'm talking about. It's Fernando Tatis Jr. the third.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he is one of my absolute favorite players in baseball right now.
100%. He's got a WAR at 13.6. His batting average is sitting at a solid 292 right now. Mm-hmm. He had 52 stolen bases in his career. 25 of them was in 2021. 25 of them were in 2021. I can speak the Englishes. So his OBP career 369, slugging 596, OPS 965. I love watching this dude play baseball.
Me too. And don't discount this, Brig. He led the league in home runs in 2021 with 42. He led the National League. And that was only with playing 130 games.
I know.
He missed time because of a recurring shoulder injury.
It's insane. And we have playoff baseball experience with him as well. He's been involved in 1 wild card game and 1 division series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And this is the thing, though, is that like the Padres went ahead and paid him. They're just like, yeah, we're going to want you around for a long time. Because this is the thing, is that he not only contributes on the field as just a beast, right? 100%. Like we went through his numbers. Like you want that on your team, but also the draw. Like I would drive to San Diego to see him play if that was the only chance I got to see him. I'm planning on going to see the Padres in town at least once this year, whenever baseball happens, just so I can watch Tatis play. I've seen Machado play, but Tatis was not playing that day in spring training, so I'm going to like go out of my way to watch the Padres this year here in Phoenix.
100%.
So, and I'm sure that I'm not alone in that sentiment.
No, you're not. And when they show up to Atlanta at Truist, I might have to do the same because it's like no miss baseball.
It is.
You have to have this experience.
Oh, and he's one of those players where you can't look away either.
Right.
Like if he's on defense, you want to watch what's going on. If he's up at the plate, you cannot blink because you don't know what's going to happen.
That's right. And if he gets on base, watch out. Stuff's going down.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, it's awesome. His defensive numbers are also amazing, by the way. Let's not discount that. And I think we've kind of brushed past that with all of our picks previously, but none of them are slouches on defense. None.
Right.
Even Devers.
And this is the funny thing, too, is that a lot of people this last year were like killing Tatis for like, oh, his throwing errors, blah, blah, all this stuff. It's like, but there's some guys where, yes, they're going to make throwing errors, but the reason it's a throwing error is because he's making a play the guy across the street couldn't make.
Not just across the street. That
But
the next 4 shortstops would be hard pressed to even attempt.
Yes, exactly right. Exactly right.
Yep.
So,
yeah,
there's a lot there. A lot going on there. All right, who's your last one, Brig?
We could go into it more, but we won't. Okay, so let me pull him up. My last one is let's see, he might be the youngest guy on my list, actually. He's entering his 23-year-old season this season. I think Tatis is also in his and so is Vlad. Vlad, Tatis, and this guy are all entering their age 23 season.
Okay.
This guy came in 2018 and played 116 games his rookie year. By the way, he was runner-up rookie of the year voting that year in 2018. That should give it away. He's never in the subsequent 3 years has never ranked lower than top 10 in the MVP voting. He's got a couple of silver sluggers. He's been on an all-star team. He has won the batting title, and he's a World Series champion. And he's turning 23 this year.
And an infielder?
Oh, no, he's not an infielder. What have I done?
Oh, no.
That's how exciting it was. Brad, you should go.
All right.
What have I done?
I don't know. I'm not sure what happened there. Let's save
really
that though. Let's not
reveal.
Let's not reveal who that was, and we'll save it. Okay. Outfielder, right? Outfielder.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll save it for next week when we do outfielders, because I think we should make this a 3-part episode. So,
dang. I'm back at it.
I wasn't sure if you were going to bring this guy in. Okay, so this guy is also 23.
Okay.
This is actually going to be his. I think this will be his age 24 season because he's going to turn 24 right before the season is supposed to start. Rob Manfred apparently says that things are on track, but I don't know if that's true.
Well, we don't trust Rob anyway.
No, we don't. But this is another son of a former player, right?
Yes, I know who you're going to say.
And he's got a career WAR 9.3. He made his debut in 2019, played 46 games, played 29 in 2020, played 159 in 2021, made the All-Star team, finished 12th in the MVP voting. Pretty impressive for a guy who was overshadowed a lot by a player on his team.
Yeah.
This is Beau Buchet.
It's Beau Buchet, yeah.
Now, I have to tell you, first off, I have an affinity for middle infielders because they do stuff that I was never able to do.
Well, yes.
Like ever, like playing baseball, not a chance. I was a catcher and a third baseman. There's a reason I played those positions, right? So
yeah.
I love watching middle infielders more than most positions in the game. And Beau Buchet is another shortstop to the list. Another guy who's just like he is great. He is absolutely outstanding defensively, but there's something about his effortless swing, because Vlad's got a violent swing, right? Like you don't want to be within 10 feet of him when he's swinging the bat.
Yeah,
but Beau
exactly
Buchet's swing is so smooth and effortless, but the ball just explodes off the bat.
Yeah, it does.
Like, it just screams out of the field, out of the ballpark when he hits it. And that's one of the things I love is that he just makes baseball look so smooth, so easy when he plays it. And it is kind of funny because his picture on Baseball Reference, he looks like he's like a 16-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Like
and one eye's kind of squinty.
Yeah, like like that half smile. It looks like he's like taking like his junior year picture and he just happens to have a Blue Jays hat on.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. All right, give me a chance to salvage myself, can we?
Yes. Yeah, go ahead. Who you got?
Because I have another guy that I didn't want to put on my list because everybody else on my list had like established themselves officially and had some longevity, as much as we can call it that within the first 4 or 5 seasons. But this guy is this guy is so exciting for a number of reasons. Let me say he's been in the league 1 year. Okay. And I love it. He played 70 games in 2021. Okay. In that time, He rounded out a batting average of 288, an OBP 347, slugging at 463, and an OPS at 810. Man, that's exciting. Okay. He has successfully stolen 5 bases. Nope, 2. That's his average. I'm sorry. He's successfully stolen 2 bases in 70 games. He is a shortstop / and/or third baseman because he's still young. He already has a career WAR in 70 games of 3.5, which is very
in 70
exciting.
games.
In 70 games, he's
Wow.
already got a career WAR of 3.5. That's what I'm saying. So, I mean, the other thing about this guy is it's Wander Franco. Sorry, it's Wander Franco.
Solid pick.
And the reason I'm choosing him, okay, first of all, he will be, come on, computer. We all thought that he was going to be like there was all this hype about him being the savior down on the Rays, right? And we were like, oh man, don't believe the hype. We got to see what he'll have the yips when he first gets there, like everybody else does. And he never did. Right? He didn't. There was no concern at all. He just rolled into town and climbed up the ivory tower and sat there. And we were like, dude, who are you? Like, you're not, this is against the rules, bro. And he didn't get sent back down to my knowledge. I don't think he got sent back down at all. Did he?
No, he didn't. And he finished 3rd in the Rookie of the Year voting to his teammate.
Yep.
Randy Arozarena, who, in my opinion, the only reason Arozarena won the Rookie of the Year was because he was there for the entire season. If they had not potentially, I'm going to put in quotes, gone and manipulated his service time and called him up earlier, like apparently he was ready to do, he may very well have won the Rookie of the Year.
100% possible. And his nickname is Patron.
What does that mean?
Which is remarkable for a 20-year-old person.
What is it? Do you know what that means? What does that mean?
Patron? Doesn't it mean father? Or like...
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it means father. It's like an honorific title.
I'm not sure what exactly it means. I'm going to look it up right now, though.
Yeah, you look it up and tell me if I'm wrong.
My Spanish is not fantastic. That apparently obviously is not one that I know. So according to Google, okay. Well, so this is kind of funny. It wanted the first thing it gave me was Patronus. Thank you, Harry Potter.
Expecto?
Yeah, Expecto Patronum. I know that's not right, but Patron. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it means pattern.
No
pattern. But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, Brig. Though, like, what do you do with a pattern?
Right.
You use the pattern to make more copies.
So it's the mold. It's more.
So he's like the mold. He's the original.
Mold.
And that might be a cultural Spanish thing that you and I don't quite understand.
That's true.
That if he's like the original, the best, and we want to try to make everybody else like him, then maybe he is El Patron, right?
Yeah.
So maybe that's where it comes from.
That's cool.
So
that's cool. All I know is that I've heard people refer to other people as Patron when it's like, I'm a little bit afraid of you. I'm going to give you all the deference possible. That kind of thing.
Yeah. I don't know. But anyway, no, that's a solid pick. I don't know why.
Wander Franco. Thanks for rolling with my gaff there, baseball family. I don't know what happened. I was just really excited to talk about that other person. I guess you'll stay tuned for next time when we talk about outfielders under 25, and I will reveal who that person is and remaining my number 1 pick.
And that's what we call a tease.
We are going to talk about our favorite players under 25. We've each picked 5, and these are specifically outfielders. We did infielders last time, outfielders this time. We'll do pitchers next time. But today we're going to talk about outfielders that we think are hot to trot in that we want to be in long-term relationships with. I say that every time because it makes Brad uncomfortable. And it's all part of the Valentine's Day series. I just can't let that phrase go. So funny to me. All right. Brad, let's get this first one out of the way. Last time when we talked about this, I blew it and tried to put Juan Soto in the infield somehow. So my number one pick for outfielders under 25 that I'm terribly excited about, cannot wait to see where he ends up after this, once he gets to sign somewhere, is Juan Soto.
Yes, he was one of mine as well. And the thing that's crazy, he's only 23. He signed with the Nats until he's 25, and we're already like, he's not going back to Washington.
No,
we know they're not going to pay him.
Yeah, exactly. It's very exciting.
Yeah, it is very exciting. So on the Seattle podcast this week, I recorded that with Jewel, my new co-host there. Go check it out if you're a Mariners fan or if you just want to listen to me talk some more. But anyway, Juan Soto actually came up. We were talking about him, and I'm going to ask you the same thing. If Scott Boras walked into your office and you're a GM and you have the money, and he says, "I want 15 years, $500 million." I can't remember if we talked about this. Would you take that?
We did talk about this, and I don't remember what I said last time, actually.
I don't remember either. That's why I'm asking again.
I think it would depend on the rest of my team's composition, but I would probably do 15. I wouldn't do 13. I wouldn't do less than 15 years for that much money.
Right, because that's $33 million a year as opposed to 13 years is 38, I think.
Yeah, I wouldn't. So it would have to be 15. Yeah, for $500 million, it would have to be 15.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you.
Same?
100%. I agree with you. Yeah. Which is funny because I'm sure he'd be like, yeah, absolutely, I'll take 15 years.
Yeah, of course. Well, and the CBA stuff is killing me, so I don't know. That's going to change everything. But
yes, it will. Definitely.
Who you got next, Brad?
Next, I'm going to go with a guy. This guy, I feel like we always channel our Chris Collinsworth and John Gruden. This guy.
This guy.
He's going to be 24 this year. He's coming off of a torn ACL in this last season, but I don't think it's going to set him back at all because he's young and he's athletic, and his name is Ronald Acuna Jr.
That's what I was going to say.
With the Braves.
Yes.
He's one of the best outfielders in the game outside of his age bracket.
Yes.
So he's like I said, he's only going to be 24 this year. And the Braves have a really good thing going. They kind of robbed him a little bit with that really team-friendly deal that they gave him.
Super duper team-friendly.
Big time. Big time.
Ugly.
Yeah, I think they kind of took advantage of him. But I don't know. If I were him, I would be getting a new agent and certainly looking for some compensation for that next time around.
Yep, I agree. I love it. He was on my list as well. Super exciting. I don't think the injury is going to hold him back because he's young. But maybe I just am worried about, will he still loaf? Will the injury encourage him to loaf?
Oh, coach, my knee.
More. Yeah, or is he just gonna step up and will this break give him the opportunity to, go back and realize how good he has it? I don't know.
I think that one incident was enough. The backlash that he got from that
was pretty ugly.
Was enough for him, to never do that again.
And now that he's stepped away, right? He's been forced out because of an injury. I wonder if we're going to see him really, count his blessings and come back.
Yep.
Hard to trot.
I agree.
So
I think you're right.
That would be pretty cool. What?
Hot to trot.
Hot to trot. I know. That's twice now. Yeah, okay. My next one, since you stole mine, I'm going to steal yours. This guy is an outfielder. No surprise there. He's left-handed outfielder, actually. Throws left, bats left. He has a career WAR of negative 1.8, as a matter of fact. So don't hold that against him. He is 22. This season will be his age 22 season. He's projected to have some incredible second-year numbers. And it's Jared Kelenic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That surprises me. Yeah, like the only reason I shouldn't say this. There are several reasons I don't have him on my list, but one of them is because he really struggled at the
Yeah.
beginning.
I think he's going to come back and have a pretty good 2022. I think, especially if we have a shortened 2022, which is looking like we're going to have, it's going to serve him better. I don't know if it's because there will be more pressure or less pressure. I don't know how he's going to interpret it, but I think we're going to see a lot of good out of him this, and not just 2022, but I'm looking at him. I mean, he's going to be 22 years old, for crying out loud. The guy has time to grow and mature and become everything we hope he's going to become. So, I just think that as a guy, we're talking about outfielders under 25. This guy is going to be something special. You've been saying it for years, way before anybody else knew what his name was. First round draft pick. It's going to be awesome. It's going to work out.
He is going to be, especially if what we saw from him in September is even like a glimpse into the future with him.
Yeah.
Look out.
Yep.
Look out. So I was going to save this guy for the end, but I feel like I have to kind of justify why I didn't put Kelenic on my list. Part of that was because I didn't feel like I could have more than one Mariner on my list, right?
Ah, okay. Well, good.
This guy has not seen a major league dugout, has never seen a major league clubhouse outside of spring training. Okay.
Whoa.
Yes. Yeah, you heard that right.
I did.
And I am the president of his fan club. I absolutely love this player so much, especially after having watched him live last year during spring training. This guy is Julio Rodriguez.
Oh, I knew it.
Brig, I am infatuated with Julio Rodriguez.
Would you like to be in a long-term relationship with him, Brad?
I would so very much. And the thing that's crazy, this is the thing that's crazy, is that Jewel and I always refer to Julio Rodriguez, Jared Kelenic, and Kyle Lewis as the Holy Trinity.
Yeah.
And part of that is like, the thing that's crazy is that Julio Rodriguez has the highest ceiling of those three guys. Right? That Kyle Lewis won Rookie of the Year. Jared Kelenic is like, dude, this guy is something special. But then it's like Julio Rodriguez comes. It's like, I read an article that said that he could be the new face of the league.
The whole league, not just
the
franchise.
whole league. That he has personality, the skill level, the charisma, all of it to go. That he could be the face of the league at some point.
Wow.
And it's really, really weird as a Mariners fan to be like, man, this guy, because he's number 2 in MLB's prospect pipeline right now.
Yeah.
And it's really weird to be like, but where do they put J-Rod when they call him up? Because you've got Kyle Lewis coming back, you got Jared Kelenic, and you got Mitch Haniger, who played out of his mind last year and is expected to do so again this year. It's like, where do you put him? So it's not a problem the Mariners have ever.
That's true.
So the solution that Jewel and I came up with this weekend, the episode actually dropped today, was platoon Haniger and Kyle Lewis as your DH. Put J-Rod in right, put Kelenic in center because that's his natural position. Then kind of rotate those other guys in left. But anyway, though, when he gets called up, because I don't know that they're going to be able to hold him down in the minors for too long this season. Especially if there's adjustments to service time manipulation. Look out. I heard his last thing with him. I was listening to a Mariners game on the radio in 2017. It was a spring training game. It was his first at bat, and it was clocked at the first pitch he saw. He smoked to the shortstop as like 108 off the bat. I think is what I heard. First pitch he saw off a big league pitcher.
Wow.
Yeah. So look out.
That's
going to
amazing.
take the league by storm.
That's amazing. I'm excited about that for you.
I'm so excited.
And I am. Because you guys need this. You guys need to get into the playoffs more.
So bad. And the Holy Trinity is going to take them there.
Yeah.
And JP Crawford and Robbie Ray.
Right. That's right. So, all right. So I'm going to go next. I've got a center fielder, right-handed center fielder. This 2022 projected going to be his 24-year-old season. He's had two seasons in the league. They have not been heavy. What? You pointing at me? What'd you point at me?
I know who it is.
You do not.
I do. It's my it's my next guy.
Are you serious? We're gonna
Yeah.
overlap again because he
Do you
plays for
mind
the
if I
White
guess?
Sox.
Yeah, it's Luis Robert.
It's Luis Robert. I mean, he's great. He's got a gold. He already earned a Gold Glove or won a Gold Glove. Earned one? I don't know. He won number 2 Rookie of the Year voting his first season in the league. That was 2020 shortened season. He played 56 of the 60 games that year. The dude is awesome. And even though he had a 32% strikeout rate last season, I still don't care. He's young. This season will be his number 30, his 3rd season in the league. He's going to be awesome. Watch out.
Well, so you bring up that strikeout number. That's actually down from his rookie year. So he is
Right.
improving as far as that goes. But
True.
no, there was a lot of chatter about how he should have won the Rookie of the Year over Kyle Lewis.
Yep.
And honestly, like as a Mariners fan and the president of the Kyle Lewis fan club, I would have been upset, but I would have understood because he had an outstanding year.
He did.
So yeah, no, Luis Robert, that's another guy to look out for because eventually he's gonna. I mean, Tim Anderson is a big personality for that White Sox team, but I could see Luis Robert being the guy who it's like we build around him.
Yeah, but Luis Robert he's getting to get in his reps while Tim Anderson takes all the press, all the hype, all the everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's letting Luis Robert kind of grow and mature quieter and with less attention because Tim Anderson is there.
Yep. It's
awesome.
It's the best thing for him, honestly.
It is.
Yeah,
yep,
it's a great thing for him. That's awesome.
Okay, you go next.
Yeah, I like him a lot. Like a lot. Okay, this is my last guy that I have.
Right.
Because we overlapped. So this guy is probably a little bit of a surprise, but he's going to be 23 this year. He's going to be his 23 season or age 23 season with the Cardinals. That's right. The Cardinals. And he has 2 years in the league. He actually has last year he put up a WAR of 3.2 in his second season.
Okay.
He finished 3rd in Rookie of the Year voting. This is Dylan Carlson. I think, if I remember, I think I had him winning the Rookie of the Year last year. He was my pick at the beginning of the season. I can't remember for sure though. But he has a ton of upside. First off, but he's improved so much, like year over year. His first year was 2020. He played 35 games. He didn't exceed his rookie limits that year. But he hit 200 and he hit 266 this year. And he hit 18 home runs, drove in 65 runs in 149 games. I think he's going to be like one of the next big, like probably the next big thing for the Cardinals. Like he's going to be their next fixture.
That's awesome.
That they do. So.
I like that. I did not see that coming. You're right. I was like, oh, interesting.
Out of left field, if you will.
Oh, Brad.
That just happened.
You dog. That was great. All right, my last one, and then we'll be done. I have one more, right?
Yeah, you should.
Okay, good. All right. I have one more, but I. Okay. All right, baseball family. I'm going to go with a guy who already. This will be his age 25 year going into 2022. I think some of us have forgotten about him because he only played 2 games in 2020. And that was obviously because of the pandemic and he chose to bow out. But he played a full season last year. He won Rookie of the Year in 2019. It's Yordan Alvarez.
That's a solid pick.
I mean,
he's a problem.
He's a problem. And I think we forget about him because of 2020. I mean, he only played those 2 games, but he's not involved in the 2017 issues in Houston. Right. He's young. He's a huge issue for anybody that comes to face him. He's got a 6.9 WAR right now. In 2021 last season, he batted .277, which is down from his Rookie of the Year 313 season. And I think that because he took a year off, right, it's going to level back out. And I'm excited to see what comes. I don't think he's going to stay in Houston forever, though. I think he's going to move away from being a full-time defensive player, an everyday defensive guy, and I think he's going to end up as a DH somewhere in the National League. That's what I think.
Well, so there's a reason he's not on my list, and that is specifically because he spent more time as a DH than he did as an outfielder last year.
That's right. But with the universal DH, it's going to save his bacon, and that's where he's going to end up.
Yeah, he doesn't have to play in the field at all anymore. He could
not
be the
anymore.
Next. I mean,
he doesn't have to be a baseball player.
Forgive me, everyone, for saying this. That an Astro might be the next Edgar Martinez with more power, but he could be. He could be a career DH, and he would be. There would be no problem with it for him anymore.
He might literally be the first career DH since Edgar Martinez.
Yeah, he could. So this last year, it's crazy. He hit 33 home runs and drove in 104 runs.
Yep.
Like, he was the guy as a Mariners fan that I get nervous when a lot of those Astros come out to the plate against the Mariners. Like, Carlos Correa every time, Alex Bregman a lot of the time, Jose Altuve a lot of the time. But this dude, every single time, it's like, he's going to freaking crank it. I just know it.
Yeah, you have to. Your rotation revolves around how often he comes to the plate.
Yeah, it does. It does. Absolutely. He's a true problem for pitchers, and he's going to continue to be. He's going to only get better, and it's going to be out of control. Welcome back, baseball family. We are going to get into our next part here where we're going to talk about more players we love, right? 25 under players we love.
Just say it, Brad.
We've done infielders. We've done outfielders. I tried to do outfielders again today when I was texting Brig, but he kept me in line. He let me know we've already done outfielders, you big dummy. So we're going to go and we're going to do pitchers now because that's all we have left. I don't know. Maybe we'll do bullpen catchers next week or something. I don't know. But trainers, possibly. I'm not sure. Trainers we love. Umpires. Yes, there we go. Deep cuts with umpires. So this week we're going to talk about pitchers we love. Brig, go ahead and get us started with your first under 25 pitcher who you love and want to have a friendly long-term relationship with.
Thank you. Why is it so hard for you to say that?
I don't know.
You're so funny about that. Okay. All right. This guy is super young. He turns 25 this next season. Okay, baseball family, I have to get something off my chest. It's got to come off my chest. Pitchers are old. Okay?
Pitchers are old. And it's hard. It was hard. Like,
yes.
And I was honestly surprised because I feel like there are times where you hear about this kid. He's a phenom. He's a phenom. He's coming up, right, in the minor leagues. But then he stays down. And then finally at like 23, 24, they bring him up, which really surprises me because every team is operating under the assumption that there are only so many bullets in the gun. Yet
why wait?
They're using.
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah. Yes.
But they're using them all in the minor leagues. Yeah. And they wonder why these guys need Tommy John when they get to the big leagues. Come on now.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Now we've got that out of the way. Okay. My first guy already has a positive WAR. He's only pitched one season. It was 16 games is what it was. He has a positive WAR, 1.5 overall, 3.43 ERA. He's a lefty, actually, and he pitches in Tampa. His name is Shane Mcclanahan.
Oh, yeah, dude. He's good.
He's really
good. How
did
I miss him? How did I miss him? Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, he's really good. He's, let me see, pull up a couple things about him here. Rookie of the year, number 7 that year. Where did those stats go, Brad? What did you do with the stats? There we go.
I took them and I hit them.
He was drafted by the New York Mets originally, 26th round, which is super interesting. That was in the 2015 MLB Junior Amateur Draft. He's from Cape Coral, Florida, and now he plays for the Tampa Bay Rays because he was picked first round his second time in the draft in the 2018 amateur draft. Excuse me. And he was 31st overall, University of South Florida out of Tampa. So
Yeah,
that's all I can tell you about him.
I specifically remember him pitching against the Mariners this last year. And it's funny because the Mariners swept the Rays in the regular season. They played like 8 or 9 games, I think, against each other. The Mariners swept them. But I specifically remember watching Mcclanahan pitch and be like, dude, this guy is good. He's like really, really good.
He's really good. Yep,
Yeah.
I totally agree. I like him, and he's my number one, or he's the first guy on my list, rather, not my number one guy, but first guy on my list. What about you? Who's your first guy?
Very good. My first guy, I'm going to go with somebody who actually ended up missing the entire 2021 season. But he's been around for some time, and he's really had a chance to prove himself. He's got a career ERA of 2.86, a career WAR already of 5.8. Made his debut in the 2018 season at age 20. This is Braves pitcher Mike Soroka.
Ooh, I almost picked him.
Now, yes, he does have a twice torn Achilles tendon.
That's why I didn't pick him.
He tore in a game, tore it again during rehab. But I'm not going to hold that against him because he is. I feel like he's talented enough, and also young enough, right? That he's going to heal. I'm confident that he's going to heal because he's young enough. But also, I feel like he's talented enough that he'll be able to make any necessary changes that he needs to still be a dominant pitcher. And also, the other thing too is that the longer this lockout goes, the longer he has to build up the strength in that right foot, that right leg, right? That he's not going to be going out there 2-3 months off rehab and be like, oh man, like that Achilles, I don't know if it's going to hold up.
Yeah.
That he'll be more confident in that Achilles because it's his push off. It's his right foot. He's right-handed. So it's his push off foot. So he's going to have more of a chance to be confident in the strength of that leg. But I'm still all in on Soroka. I liked him before he got hurt, and I am 100% in on this dude because he's a stud.
No, I agree with you, and I think that if it was the foot he landed on, I would have way more issue.
I think you're probably right. Yeah.
So it's the only reason I would have zero inclination to be confident, but it's not the case. That's pretty cool. So Good choice. Yeah. He was on my honorable mention list. Way to go.
Very good. Excellent.
All right, I'm going to go with a guy for my next one who has played 3 seasons in the big leagues. He's a pitcher, actually.
Sure enough. He fits the criteria.
selected in the 4th round 2014 MLB amateur draft by the team he plays for, which you don't often see. And even, well, you do when they're this young. Sorry. But he will be 25 in 2022. His career WAR right now is 3.5. He had a 3.9 WAR in 2021. His ERA in 2021. Okay, ready? For ERA is my favorite. He in 2019 had a 5.22 ERA. Then he went to a 5.47 ERA in the next year, 2020. And then last season it dropped to 3.03. And he played significantly more games. So there were 2 wins, 3 losses for a total of 5 appearances in 2019, 7 appearances in 2020, 14 appearances in 2021, and his ERA went from 5.5 to 3.03.
Are those appearances or are those decisions?
Correct. Thank you. Those are decisions.
Okay.
Not appearances.
Okay.
Yeah, those are. So there were 8 games total in 2019, 13 in 2020, 27 in 2021.
Okay.
Still illustrates the same point, just the wrong category. the wrong column. Thanks, baseball reference and Brad. I'm talking about Logan Webb. He's a right-handed pitcher, plays for the Giants.
Is he going to be 25 this season?
Yeah, he'll be 25 this season.
Okay, because I was looking at him and I think I did my math wrong on when he's going to be 25. But no, yeah, because he's solid too. He's a great pitcher.
Yeah, he's going to be good for a long time.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, and like I said, because I was looking at him and I was like, oh shoot, he's like already 25, but he is 25, and this is a 25-year-old season. So
Correct.
solid
Yep.
pick, Brig. I
Thanks, man.
absolutely 100 agree with you. Yeah,
But I think that's killer. That 5.5 ERA all the way to 3.03 in one season, one turnaround, and he had 13 game appearances, and then to 27, and it went down like that. To me, that was astounding.
Yeah, he just needed to get into a rhythm because 8 games is not enough to get into a groove in a big league clubhouse. 13 games is not enough time to get into a rhythm as a big league pitcher. Nope. 27, I think we're seeing who he really is there.
I think so.
So that's a solid pick. I like
Thanks,
that.
Man.
Okay. Let's I'll do one more right here. And then you do
I have 3 more.
Okay. This guy is going to be a problem for batters, especially in the American League West, for a very long time. He was a major problem this year for batters, and like I said, it's going to continue that way. He had a 3.48 ERA this year in 30 appearances, 11-8 record. Pitched 155 innings. One of my favorite stats is strikeout to walk ratio was 3.34. That is a little over 3.25 strikeouts for every single walk. That's the kind of guy I want in my rotation. He also finished second in Rookie of the Year voting. This is Luis Garcia with the Houston
Astros. Super solid pick, bro.
Dude, he's scary. He is frightening. For a fan of another American League West team, like I do not like this guy.
No doubt.
All. That anytime you see that he's in the rotation coming up in the series, you're like, well, just chalk that up to a big fat L.
Yep.
Nothing's happening there. So, and I don't feel like that, like this year, his record, and I really don't hold much water with pitchers' records. He had an 11-8 record. That certainly is not on him, which is weird that the Astros would have lost that many games with him pitching. But I think there may have been some growing pains a little bit there this year, but he certainly came into his groove and was the guy towards the end of the season.
And we saw him in 30 games.
Yes.
30 games with a 3.5 ERA. It's pretty dang good.
It is pretty dang good. So,
very cool.
he's going to be a problem for a long time. Not looking forward to it. Man,
we haven't overlapped once yet.
Not yet. I think we're going to eventually.
Probably.
I don't know. We'll see. All right. Who you got next?
Hey, let me pull him up. We got a guy who's a pitcher. He'll actually be his 24-year season, 2022. It'll be his age 24 season. In 2020, he appeared in 6 games, and that's for obvious reasons. In 2021, there were 24 appearances, 24 games. He had in that season an ERA of 3.5, 3.58 specifically. His career ERA is down to 3.25, which is awesome. Positive career WAR 3.9. Nobody cares about win-loss record. And Rookie of the Year voting, number 7. And last year, he was also in the Rookie of the Year voting, came in number 5. He pitches in Atlanta. It's Ian Anderson.
That's another good one.
Thank you.
I mean, there's a reason that the Braves. There's a reason the Braves have a strong rotation. These guys are like a huge part of it. I was gonna pick Ian Anderson, but I didn't want to pick 2 Braves.
That's why I didn't go with Soroka.
Is that our overlap?
No. Maybe.
It might be as close as we get.
It might be the way it's going.
Yep.
Yeah, I like Ian Anderson. I think he's going to be really spectacular for a long time. I don't know that he'll be in Atlanta for the rest of his career. I think that would be really hard to pull off. But he's going to be great. And I can see him playing at 4 or 5 clubs, actually. Just partly because that's what pitchers do, but also partly because I think a lot of people are going to have different situations come the new CBA. So
I agree.
There's a
I
lot of
think
these
you're right.
guys.
But they have him. He's not a free agent until 2027. So he's got a while still.
Yeah, he does.
That they can enjoy him on that staff for a good long while still. That'll be good for them. I would honestly, and this is the other thing. This is the reason I picked Soroka over him is because you get a bigger sample size with him at 24 games compared to 6 during the COVID season.
Sure.
That his ERA is almost double with 24 games. Like I said, I understand the larger sample size, but sometimes you get to see a little bit more of who a guy is with a larger sample size. One of the things the Mariners saw with Yusei Kikuchi this last year was that he was outstanding in the first half of the season. He was an all-star because they had a 6-man rotation. But once they went back down to that 5-man rotation, he ended up getting pulled from his last start because they didn't trust him.
Yeah.
I'd be curious, like I would want to look a little bit deeper at Ian Anderson's splits to see how he did later in the season, to see if he's one of those guys who kind of ran out of gas or if he finished really strong.
Well, so his 2021 playoff numbers are 3.86 and 2.57 is 2020 playoff numbers. So
yeah,
I don't know. He's been in 2 NLCSs with a 3.21 ERA between the both of them.
Yeah, I don't know. I like I said, just more like August, September is what I would want to see specifically.
Yeah,
but
I agree with you. I think that's exactly right.
So, let's go ahead and take a quick break. When we get back, I have 3 guys to talk about. Brig still has 2. We'll get into those in just a minute.
Welcome back, baseball family. Brad doesn't think we're going to overlap today, and I just thought I should let you know that would be a first in the history of this thing we've been doing.
Yeah, it would be.
I'm very eager to find out if he's right or wrong. So, Brad, why don't you go ahead and tell us the next player that you've got on your list of pitchers under 25?
Okay, this guy. This is going to be his year 24 or age 23 season. Okay, he did miss age 23. He did miss all of 2021 with a shoulder injury, which a little bit of a red flag. I understand that, right? But he made his debut really young at age 22 back in the COVID season. He plays for the Marlins. This is Sixto Sanchez.
Yeah.
If you've watched him pitch, like first off, during the COVID season, 3.46 ERA in 7 games. I give guys who pitch for teams like the Marlins a little bit of a pass with some of their stats. Just because, like, I understand that errors are not going to contribute to your earned run average because they're not earned runs, right? Anyway,
correct.
I give guys like that pitch for those teams a little bit of a pass. He finished 7th in Rookie of the Year voting. His strikeout to walk ratio was a flat 3.00 in 2020, and I'll take that absolutely 100%. The 1.025 whip, I like it. But he's one of those guys that's just like electric to watch pitch. There's certain guys you can see and you can feel their energy through the TV. They're like, yeah, it feels different in the ballpark when they're pitching. And Sixto Sanchez to me is one of those guys. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about, Brig? Like the buzz when somebody else is pitching?
Uh-huh. No, I know what you're saying. I don't know that I agree with you with Sixto.
That's how I feel with when I've watched him pitch in 2020, is that he seemed like a guy who there was a little bit something different going on when he was on the mound. I don't know if he's going to be able to maintain it though, because a shoulder surgery is a big deal.
Yeah,
it
really is. It's not just Tommy John,
right?
And do we know what kind of shoulder surgery it was? Because that'll play a huge part.
It didn't. The articles I read didn't say specifically. Like it didn't say specifically like a rotator cuff or anything. It just said a shoulder surgery from what I saw. So
yeah, he worries me. I went through him a little bit to figure out whether I could justify picking him, and I can't. I do like how young he is. I think that's nice. You know, here we are talking about a couple of years difference, but still, like I don't have enough out of him personally.
Yeah. Well, and he was a guy Derek Jeter liked a lot. And for me, that's like kind of a big deal.
Yeah, it's not
The
a small
fact
deal.
that Derek Jeter stepped away because of a philosophical difference with the team, and Sixto Sanchez was a guy that he backed.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm saying you're
There's
not wrong.
it's a lot of upside is what I'd be banking off with him, is a lot of upside and energy, obviously. But
Sure.
but yeah. So that's
Okay.
my next pick, Sixto Sanchez.
All right.
All right, who you got, Brig?
All right, for my next one, guy was selected actually by the LA Dodgers in the third round of 2016 amateur draft. He's going to be 24 in 2022. It's his age 24 season. Right-handed pitcher. He's from Texas. And we've got a career WAR 1.8 from him. His career ERA is 2.93. His 2021 ERA was 2.74. Now, it was only 5 games in 2021. That's my only concern with him. We got 23 innings of work out of him in 2021, but I still really like what I'm seeing out of Dustin May.
Oh, yeah. I love Dustin May.
Yeah, I like Dustin May a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Out of the 3 years he's been in the bigs, his 2021 whip was 0.957. We've got a 3-year average of 1.065 and 8.8 strikeout over 9. And that's awesome.
I'll tell you, Brig, I didn't think you were going to pick Dustin May.
Rookie of the year, number 5.
That's our overlap.
Did you? Yeah. Yes.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I am a huge Dustin May fan, partially because he looks a lot like my brother-in-law at that age, which is really funny to me. But no, I love, like, Dustin May for me was appointment viewing in 2020.
Yep.
Like if he was pitching, I was turning on a Dodgers game.
Yeah.
He did have to have Tommy John last year, so that's going to be something. I think it's going to cut into his velocity a little bit because he's a 100 plus guy.
Yeah,
or was. But no,
we have postseason appearances from him as well. We know what he looks like under pressure. So I'm just saying, like, unless Tommy John really throws him for a loop, he was in the playoffs in 2019, 2020, and obviously missed the 2021 campaign. But I mean, the guy knows what he's doing. He's so young and he gasses people. I just am excited to see what he can do, and I'm just not as worried about Tommy John like I am specifically shoulder surgery, but yeah, it's just different. But anyway, yeah, Dustin May, love that guy.
Yeah, me too. Solid pick. I love it so much. I was super bummed when he had to have Tommy John surgery, but I was like, it's better to have it at 23 than it is to have it at 33. So he's got that going for him.
That's right.
But man, he is a violent pitcher, though. I'm not surprised he had to have it. Like,
totally.
He puts every little bit of his body into every single pitch, and it's exciting to watch. And he's going to be somebody who's fun to watch for a long time. So that was our overlap. That was our.
Yeah, he's a great example of what you were talking about. That kind of like on the field energy and presence that you were talking about with Sixto. Like you can see it with Dustin May too. Yeah.
Yep. You can. Yep. I think it helps that he's 6'6". He's like a freaking beanpole. He's so tall.
And he's only 180 pounds at 6'6".
I know.
I don't know where he gets it, but it's there.
Dude, and that might be the other reason he had to have Tommy John. Is like he probably throws it kind of like Randy Johnson, kind of like the whip motion.
Yeah.
It might be what did it, but yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to him getting back though, because he's a fun pitcher to watch. I like him a lot.
All right, who's next on your list?
Okay, this is my last one since we overlapped.
Oh man, are we gonna overlap again?
I don't think so. I doubt it.
Okay.
Honestly, you have one more, right?
I have one more. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So this is somebody who made their major league debut last year in 2021. He made his debut at age 24 and sorry, that's his current age is 24 and 306 days. He made his debut at age 24 and 8 days. So this will be his age 25 season this year. He had a 4.68 ERA, but a lot of that came in those first few starts when he was starting to kind of get his groove and feel where he belonged in the big leagues. If you look at his splits with win-losses with his team went on like a 12-game winning streak when he pitched. Like, he didn't get all those decisions, but when he was pitching, they were winning. And this is Logan Gilbert with the Mariners.
Yeah, it's not an overlap, but that's awesome.
I didn't think so.
Yeah.
So another 6'6" guy, a really, really tall, but he's got an outstanding fastball. He's got an amazing slider. I love watching this guy pitch too. Like I said, he took a little bit of time to settle in. He gave up 8.4 hits per nine, 1.3 home runs per nine, but a 4.57 strikeout to walk ratio.
Ooh.
Yeah. Those are my knuckles popping for everyone listening, because that is outstanding.
Yeah, it is.
But no, 2.1 walks per nine. Once Gilbert settled in after those first few starts, that you knew he was going to come out. He was going to let the Mariners take a lead, even if it was 2-3 runs, whatever, and it was going to be outstanding. This kid is going to anchor this staff. I mean, you got Robbie Ray, right, is the ace, but Logan Gilbert is going to be the 2, potentially the 3 when George Kirby comes up. But I wouldn't be surprised if he stuck around the 2, just because he's got the time under his belt and he is that good that he's going to be one of the guys who the Mariners ride to potentially winning the division, going to the playoffs, and winning a World Series in 2023.
Yeah. Solid.
Thanks. Big Logan Gilbert
happening
fan,
in 2023. What?
It is, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's happening in 2023. No, I was just saying, in case you didn't notice, I'm a big Logan Gilbert fan. So
I can tell. I think it's awesome. Yeah.
All right. Who's your last one here, Brig? Yes, we do.
We do. This guy's from Culiacan, Mexico. This will be his age 25 season. He actually made his debut in 2016. And he was 19 years old when he made his debut. He pitched 18 games that season, which I think is awesome. And his ERA over those 18 games was 3.39. At 19 years old, Brad.
Yeah. Yeah, this is another great pitcher for the Dodgers.
It is. And he was in Cy Young running last year. He came in 7th, but he was in the Cy Young last year. He last year. So first of all, let me say this is Julio Arias, for those of you that haven't figured it out yet. And he missed almost all but 5 games 2017, all but 3 games in 2018. He had shoulder surgery. And that's why we were talking about shoulder surgery earlier. And I wanted to kind of feel it out. Then he came back in 2019 after shoulder surgery and posted a 2.49 ERA over 37 games. Then in 2020, he had 11 games, 3.27 ERA. Again, that's that rotation issue we were talking about, kind of settling in. 2021, he comes in 32 games, 2.96 ERA. Come on. That puts his 6-year career ERA at 3.09. The dude started when he was 19 years old. This guy is insanity. I love watching him pitch. It's terrifying and exciting all at the same time. He's a lefty at that, which makes it even better. So this dude is literally a golden goose.
He is, and you know what's so? I wonder if they're going to do this with Sixto Sanchez. If they're going to do the same thing that the Dodgers did with Arias, is that he came out of the bullpen for much of 2019, his first year back.
Yep.
That he appeared in 37 games, but only started 8 of those.
Right.
So I wonder if
whereas in 2021 he started 32 of his 32 appearances.
Exactly, he started 11 of his, started 10 of his 11 appearances in 2020. So that could be the way to do it. And I think that's part of the reason that he was able to have so much success in 2020 and especially in 2021 is that he was kind of eased back into things. before he was really ramped up into that starter role. And yeah, he's a problem. He's a problem for the NL West, big time.
And I just wonder if Miami is managed well enough to do that. To because with Dave Anderson, he really takes care of his players. He really is involved in the game. And it's stupid to say that about a manager, but I mean, he just is so keyed in, and he knows baseball so well. And I'm not saying that Donnie Baseball doesn't. That would be crime against baseball. But I just wonder if the organization as a whole is looking to take as good a care of their players in Miami as they are in LA. That's
right.
all.
Yeah. Right. Dave Roberts, by the way.
Sorry, Dave Roberts.
Yeah.
Whatever
I said, Dave Roberts. I agree with you, though, that Donnie Baseball knows baseball, right? There's a reason they call him Donnie Baseball. But at the same time, there are reasons, I guess, why he was let go in LA. Yeah. He wasn't able to get over the hump as a manager. And, Roberts has had his struggles as well. Part of that was because they ran into a team that was stealing their signs illegally.
Did.
Twice. But at the same time, if it's up to Don Mattingly, he's going to take care of Sixto Sanchez. If it's not, they're going to have problems because the Dodgers did it right. The Dodgers do a lot of things right, which is why they win so many games.
Well, and now that Derek Jeter has stepped away in Miami because of philosophical differences, you got to worry at least a little bit about stuff like player management, player development.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. You're right, Brig and Brad. When you're right, you're right. That's all you can do, right?
Thanks, man.
But that's all I have with our overlap. That we've gone through my last player and Logan Gilbert. But baseball family, let us know who you think are the best pitchers under the age of 25, going into their age 25 year season. That did not make any sense. Age 25 season. That's what I'm trying to say. It's getting late. Drop us an email in the mailbag. There's a link down in our link tree in the bottom of the description there. You can also support us in Patreon there with our link and link tree as well.